think we have enough time to do it. We started earlier,
Yeah.
so let's swip on over. Swing, 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 swing. All right, take it
All
away,
right.
Adam.
Okay, so I'm reviewing Lego DC Supervillains. This is developed by Traveller's Tales, produced by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. It was released on the 16th of October, 2018. I played this game on PlayStation 5. It is, but I think it's a PlayStation 4 game.
Mm.
Um, so it's available on Switch, PlayStation 4, OS X, Xbox One, and Windows. OS X, that's surprising.
It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. What did I like about the game? It is, if you've played a Lego game before, it's a Lego game. Um, it is a kind of mindless action platformer with mild puzzle elements. That you use different characters' abilities to overcome different situations. So, for instance, if you see gold bricks, you know that you have to use some sort of fire on them. If you
Easy.
see silver ones, you know that you have to use an explosion on them. If you see this thing, you have to deflect a beam or something. So,
Are these
it's using,
fairly standard mechanics for Lego games? I've
yes,
never played one. Okay.
these are very standard mechanics for Legos games. Yeah. Since I think Lego Star Wars was the first one that I played, the complete trilogy on Xbox 360. And um, it they keep the same mechanics throughout. So knowing that's what I'm getting when I go into it, that's what I like about it. It gives you exactly what's on the tin, right? It also gives you something like 200 plus characters to collect, and each of them has different abilities. They all have like little recorded voice lines. There's a ton of Easter eggs. That's the reason to play these things. It's a collectathon of characters and vehicles, and it's just kind of fun to fuck around with Legos, right? Um, what
It's true.
didn't you like about the game? So there's a thing with this. Every level, this has been in the game since in Lego games since day one. Um, every level you have to beat the level, and then you have to go back in free play to get the collectibles. You don't have the abilities necessary to just go through the level one time.
That's annoying.
And I understand that they're like trying to make you like they imagine you just want to be playing it over and over, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think I don't think that it ever has been like that. You can kind of blitz through the levels once you have all the characters, but one thing with this one in particular is that previous games, some of the Marvel ones, have let you like teleport to specific sections in which you're missing certain collectibles. It'll tell you like, oh, you're missing a mini kit here, you're missing a character token here, you're missing whatever, and you could just go to that part of the level, just do that part, leave the level, and you're done. This makes you do the level from the start until you exit it. You can exit out once you've got the collectibles. That's something, but especially for the post story content, you have I think 20 missions, 20 levels, and that are fairly long, and then you have another dozen or so small levels that you can um, that don't have cutscenes, that don't tie into the main plot. They're just like little side levels. You can't. I feel like you should just be able to do those in free play from the get go. Um, but they make you go through them like normal, and then you have to go through them again. That's the big thing that I don't like about this is that there are a minimum 2 times required per level to get everything.
Yeah.
To
It's really stupid.
which in a game about getting everything like is pretty irritating.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. How was the story? Was it engaging? The story is fine. The story is the if you've watched the Justice League animated series, the Justice Lords story, of alternate versions of the Justice League. They come here, they send all of the Justice League to get imprisoned by Darkseid, and so you end up playing as, I think actually think it's kind of clever. You end up playing as all of the villains, going, "Hey, this sucks. These guys are worse than the Justice League. So let's take them down and save the Justice League." I think it's pretty clever. The writing's pretty fun. I think that like recently Lego games have ended up a lot more frantic in their humor, and I don't like that, but like that's a nitpick. How is the gameplay? The gameplay is very standard. Hit the button to attack things, destroy some things, do some puzzles. It's fun. Like it's a fun time killer. That's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm.
How's the art? You again. What it says on the tin with this? It's bright. It's colorful. It's clean. It's
the
a bunch of
attention to
Legos.
detail's really good. I noticed in one of the cutscenes earlier, you could see like the plastic markings and like the Lego branding and stuff like on one of the arms.
Well, and everything is built out of very clear pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like you like not everything, but like the environments are what they are. And I actually think it would be kind of too much if everything was built out of Legos.
Mm-hmm.
But any item that's interactable for sure is built out of pieces that you go like, oh, I know how to build that. I can see it. I can build it in real life if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. How is the music? It's forgettable. Like there's nothing that stands out. Previous games have had Star Wars soundtrack. They had like the famous Danny Elfman Batman or John Williams Superman themes in them. This one doesn't have that, so I think the music is some points against it. Sound design is one of the big problems that I have with this game. Most of it's fine. You have your little building sounds. You have some shattering sounds. All that feels fine. Some of the voice lines are recorded kind of poorly, and so they end up playing tinny and really loud. And then also, I would say 5 or 6 of the levels have klaxons going. So it's like a prison break, or an Arkham breakout, or you're infiltrating some place and the alarms go off, and there's just a klaxon going the whole fucking level. And that's awful. It's really bad. Yeah. So that's a big point against it. How long did it take you to finish? It's about a 30-hour game to 100% it. It's about 12 hours to completion. So like that's the most of the 30 hours is just flying around the city, doing some puzzles, saving some people, like whatever. That's the fun stuff to me. So like that's interesting. Exploring the city, which is like a hub world. It's the levels are the downside. It's like you do the levels and then you get to do the city as your reward almost. But like that's what's fun, is flying around and doing collectibles in the city. Yeah, was the game difficult? No, not at all. It's made for kids. That's will I play a sequel? Probably. I play every single one of these. So yeah, I mean it's an easy 1,000 points or for achievements or trophies, and like it's something to just kind of turn on and do. So I will play all of them because I continue to play all of them as I'm addicted, I guess. But I don't know that I would recommend, if I just played this one, I don't think that I would play a sequel. I think that this is one of the lesser ones to me. Just because like the accessibility of it, of getting to places, of like there's a lot of dumb things to find that they just give you kind of hints for. So like it's irritating a lot. And then also something that that I mentioned earlier, the flight controls are a nightmare. It's almost like they programmed this game. The driving also. It's almost like they programmed it on Nintendo 64. How like there's not, how with 64 there's like two pressure sensitivities. There's like I'm walking slow and then I'm running. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. There's
Ugh.
not like any nuance between how hard you turn. So like you'll have to do sometimes like flying races, where you get a flying character and you have to fly through rings like any good Superman game. And
God.
you're if you're going fast and you're just having to make little tweaks to like adjust to where the ring is, that's fine. If you have to do any sharp turns, you're fucked. It's really bad in terms of that. So so yeah, overall rating impression. I'm gonna give this, actually, I give Lego games a lot of credit for being accessible to kids and being something like mindless and that you could just do. But this one, I have to say, it's like a 5.5.
Oof.
Damn, that's low.
That might be. That's one of our lowest scores.
Yeah, it is.
I'm trying to be I'm going off of the score, the chart here, right?
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I don't recommend you against it. If you like Lego games, you'll like it, right?
Yeah.
If it's the same thing as every other Lego game, but I think that it's not as, especially with as much as I was looking forward to this one. I like villains, and that's a selling point. I think that it falls short in terms of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so to loop this in with our topic, as far as like an adaptation of comic book properties, how do you think it ranks?
If judging as an adaptation, I think it ranks better than it does as a game. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
Right? Because like the story's fun, the writing is cute, and like whatever, it's kind of clever. It also like has a billion characters, some like really deep cuts that like. So I think that's fun, and like the reason to play this is Easter eggs and collecting. But like I don't think it's that. I feel like the mechanics falter, which, man, this freaking baffles me. How do you make a game and you make it good and you perfect your formula? Like I think probably Marvel Superheroes 2 is the peak of Lego games, right?
Okay.
I think that they did it probably the best. How do you go back from that? How do you make a game that is good?
Ask Paper Mario, dude.
Dude, ask a lot of franchises. There's so many franchises that have like they peak with something just that's pure magic, and then they half-ass the next game, and you're like, what are you doing?
Bomberman.
Yeah. I don't know how you
look at the Bomberman franchise right now,
dude. Honestly,
like, what do we do? We're
I don't
playing Bomberman again.
Yeah, I don't hate the Bomberman franchise. They actually found something
now, though.
The most recent one that I've played, I don't know if there's been any since, the one that came out on the Switch when the Switch came out, but like that game's actually excellent, and it does everything right that you want from a Bomberman game. Now whether or not that's enough for you to want to keep playing it, I would actually compare those two Lego games, right? Like they found their formula and they're sticking to it. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Like I don't ever expect much from a Bomberman game, right? It's like, but do we need more is the question, like that's where we need to ask that question. Do we need more? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. So, ultimate verdict: is the game worth buying at the current full price? Wait for a sale or scout. I have a hard time imagining you'll find this anywhere for full price. Now, it came out in 2018. I got it for free on PlayStation because like I was for sort of free because I subscribed to the PlayStation thing. I would not buy it at full price. I would probably pay $20 for this. Wait for a sale.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even pay $20. It sounds like.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, like it's also not for everybody. Like most of these, if you have kids, then it's great. My kids are not really old enough to play it though. You probably need kids that are like 8 to 12 is what I would say. So
yeah,
yeah, there you go.
Right on. There you go.
Sweet.